Welcome to Envisioned Broadcasting Radio, your station for empowerment, music, and talk radio. EB Radio presents Empower Hour with Jaresha. A show that shares the stories behind the journeys of leaders, influencers, and motivators. The Empower Hour with Jaresha begins now.
Ever wonder if you're heading in the right direction? Asking for guidance isn't something to be afraid of. At Empower on Purpose, we specialize in giving expert advice, support, mentorship, training, and coaching. We're success and leadership coaches trained to help with life's biggest choices. Our self-reflection sessions will empower you for success in all areas of your life so you can sleep better at night. Our strategies will help you focus and be more intentional with your success. Our coaching and training will help you become a better version of yourself to be, do, and have all the things you want in your life. Empower on Purpose, because we recognize the power and greatness within you and empower you to be intentional and be empowered to live each day with purpose. Visit www.empoweronpurpose. Good evening, amazing people, and welcome to Empower Hour with Jaresha. I am your host, Jaresha Moore Smith, and it's another amazing Wednesday. So happy Wednesday, everyone. If this is your first time tuning into the show, I am so happy that you are tuning in to the show this evening. I want you to know that I believe you have the power to be great, have great, and do great. You just have to be willing to unleash your greatness and take action. So on this show, I speak with leaders, motivators, and influencers who want to share their stories and journeys to empower the world for growth and success. So every week, we take a look at an empowerment quote and how it can truly empower us for growth and success. And today I want to talk about several quotes. So throughout this evening, you will hear me mention a couple of different quotes as we talk about winning your morning and making boss moves, right? Because that's exactly what we want to be doing every single day, right? We just don't realize how important it is not to just hop out of bed every morning and not have a plan or a routine that includes more than brushing our teeth and having that cup of coffee. So I truly want you to remember, as Zig Ziglar says, you will never have this day again. So make it count. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Isn't that such an amazing quote? Absolutely love that. Now, I don't know about you, but my goal each and every day is to be great, to do great, and to have great. And in order for me to do this, in order for you to do that, we have to make today count. So let me tell you how I make my day count, because truly it all starts with having that master plan, that master routine, that miracle morning routine, whatever, however you want to call it. But it's all about having that morning routine that I commit to habit. Because at the end of the day, let's face it, our biggest challenge in life is truly about being consistent and showing up when, we have those habits that we want to implement in our lives. We want to do so much and at the end of the day, we don't really take the time to discover the why of whatever that habit is. Why is it so important for us? Why is it so important in our lives? We don't take a look at how that habit is going to transform our lives. And honestly, if I'm going to be honest here, there are so many of us that need to understand what commitment means. So when you commit to a habit, when you commit to a goal, when you commit to being intentional. So let's define commitment. So based off of the definition in Webster's definition, the definition of commitment is an agreement or pledge to do something. It's something pledged. It's the state of an instance of being obligated or emotionally impelled. The act of commitment to a charge or trust. Isn't that is so good? Because often we just say, I'm gonna start doing this or I'm gonna start doing that, and yet we haven't made that real commitment to that cause, the commitment to ourselves. And we most certainly haven't written it down. So I ask you, how can you begin to transform and make your day count if you're not willing to plan and write things down? Oh my goodness, I don't think I can even stress this enough to everyone listening, to anyone that knows me. I am a firm believer for writing things down. We have to learn to think on paper. So, if I was to truly give you an action item or a key takeaway from what I just said, it is to make your day count. You have to be willing to be clear on what you want to accomplish. Have that plan. Write it down. There it is again. Write it down and start with writing down your morning routine. Be intentional, y'all. Be intentional and make a commitment, an agreement with yourself to keep going. And, some of us may need to give ourselves consequences for not sticking to those commitments, right? So John C. Maxwell says, you'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. That's so good. That's so good. Now, if this is not your first time tuning into the show, you have heard me talk about daily routines and my morning routine, and I've talked about it so much. And here's why. So I want to tell you why, because my own success, so my success with my coaching business and the success with the radio station and the podcasts and some of the books that I've authored and been the best-selling, gone on to be a best-selling author, all of that is truly because of the fact that I was intentional about what I'm doing every single day. And it all started with my morning routine. Now, those that are not morning birds and, what they say, the early bird, catches the worm, and you're probably listening and thinking, you are absolutely out of your mind. There is no way I'm getting up early. I haven't shared it on this show yet, but I normally get up at 4 a.m. But again, for those that are listening that are thinking, I'm not a morning person. I do not like getting up early. Going back to again, I am not a morning person. I tell you, yes, I understand that you may not be a morning person. At one point, I wasn't either. But I want you to know that you are limiting yourself in your belief. Now, you don't have to get up as early as I do, okay? You don't have to get up at 4 o'clock. And I just recently started getting up at 4 a.m. Before, it was a 5 or 5:30 a.m. that I would get up at. But you don't have to get up as early as I do. But I do feel like it's important to get up early. It's so important for you to get up early, and here's why. Getting up early is going to push you outside of your comfort zone. So if you're listening right now and you said, you know what, you are crazy, I'm not getting up early, then I definitely say that I'm speaking to you. I'm speaking to you right now, because sometimes we have to learn how to stretch ourselves. Sometimes we have to learn how to push ourselves if there are things that we're working on. And most of us can raise our hand and say, yes, I have goals that I'm trying to accomplish. I have a dream. And I would ask you, what action steps are you taking in order to have that dream become true? What action steps are you taking in order to accomplish that goal? So, yes, you are going to have to push and stretch outside of your comfort zone. Maybe it's a book that you've been wanting to write, or that podcast that you've been wanting to launch, or perhaps you want to make some kind of changes with your health and wellness and really want to start exercising in the morning. Well, guess what? You go into anything. Okay, you can go into anything and do anything that you want to do. So if you were one of those people that say, yes, I want to write a book, this is something that I've been wanting to do for years, or I've always wanted to launch a podcast, or, I want to start that exercise and morning routine, or maybe you're wanting to launch your own business. Here's what I'm going to tell you. You can't go into anything with a I can't attitude, simply because sleeping in is what you have gotten accustomed to. Now, you're probably listening like, what she's talking about? Like, what is she really talking about? Why is she saying that we can't accomplish anything without having a morning routine? Well, that's exactly what I'm saying. And it's about a daily routine, but I really feel like it starts with your morning. But again, I have to tell all of those that are saying, oh, I'm not a morning person. I was that person too. So trust me when I say, I used to believe in only getting up as early or early enough to get myself ready, get my kids ready. And then when I tell you we rushed to get everything else and, really fit everything else in there before it was time to work. Yeah, and I know there's so many that's listening to saying, you know what? My mornings are so rushed, and when you're barely dragging yourself out of bed, I get it. Trust me, I do, because I was there. I was there until I got introduced to The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. And when I tell you that I realized that getting up early is a thing, and it's a thing that successful people do. It's a thing that successful people do. Having a morning routine, having a daily routine is a thing that successful people do. And there is a such thing as waking up early and being intentional with your morning. So I started doing that. And let me tell you, I am a firm believer in speaking about those things that are challenging and the obstacles and the barriers that we face. And I will tell you that it was a huge challenge for me. Oh, I struggled. I had a hard time getting up. Oh my goodness. When things get tough, though, I will tell you that is not where we're supposed to stop. That's not a sign for you to stop. That is a sign that you need to keep going. So I did. And when I did, I watched things begin to change. When I became more intentional about my day, and especially my mornings, it allowed me to stretch myself. So I tell you, stretch yourself just a little bit and make that commitment to getting up early. And it doesn't have to be a 3 a.m., 4 a.m., that you're getting up. Just a little bit earlier to work on your goals. One of the things that I realized while on this journey is that once your morning is gone, that's it, right? So I had to stop dragging and get up and make the most of it. We know all too well how time just flies by, and your morning flies by. By the time you know it, it's noon. Guess what? If you are barely dragging yourself out of bed in the morning and then trying to show up for yourself, or let me ask you this, how are you showing up for yourself if you're not intentional about your morning? Now, let's talk a little bit about, truly making the most of it. Because I just said that, once your morning is gone, that's it, it's gone. And we have to stop dragging and literally get up. And that's what I did. Stop dragging, got myself up, and made the most of it. So let's dive into making the most of it, because I really feel like we have no excuse for making the most of our mornings. And, if I'm being honest, I would truly say making the most of our days, but we're just going to talk about mornings right now. So making the most of your morning, I feel like, and I know I used to do this, so I will definitely, I'm along with you where we hit that snooze button, okay? It's the dreadful snooze button. And I feel like those hitting the snooze button, that snooze button, the snooze button is, can I just say, is not a good solution for trying to get rest. And the interesting thing is that when we hit the snooze button, we think it's helping us get more rest, but the reality is that it's not. I used to play the snooze button game, okay? And so that was where I was hitting the snooze button not just once, but several times. By the time you think you're getting back to sleep and getting that rest, like we think we're getting a little bit more, a little more sleep after hitting that button, it's going off again. It's a game. It's a mind game that we play with the snooze button. And here's what I'm going to tell you. We never win. There is too much life for you to live to hit that snooze button. When we hit the snooze button, we are saying to ourselves our why, us being great, us doing great, us having great is not important enough to get up and take action now. Success comes to those who will have the willpower to get up and get moving and not hit the snooze button for 15 minutes. And if you're anything like I was, then, like I said, you keep hitting that snooze button. But let me ask you, are you living a snooze button life? Because I know I was. The reality is that most of us hit the snooze button over and over and over again. We do it so much that it becomes habit, right? So every single morning or the night before, we might be setting our alarm and it's set to have the snooze. And then in the morning when it goes off, you're hitting the snooze and it becomes habit to where you're doing it every single day. Every single day. But here's what I'm going to tell you, that when you hit the snooze button over and over again and it becomes habit, it carries into other areas of your life that we don't see as a priority. And how you do one thing is how you do everything. So what else are you hitting the snooze button on in your life? What I know is that something special awaits you every single day. All you need to do is recognize it and make the most of it. So let's just agree, if you are going to have an alarm clock, don't set the snooze at all. Just, there's a little thing that you can just mark to where, or move to where you don't have to even have the snooze. Just turn that snooze off. You don't need to have the snooze to get up. You just need the alarm to get up and get moving, right? You don't need that. Make that commitment to yourself and your morning to get up and make the most of your day. As a matter of fact, let me tell you, tell yourself every single day that today is the day. Today is the day, and I'm going to have the best day of my life, because ultimately your future is created by what you're going to do today. What you do today will build and improve your tomorrow. But guess what? It all starts with you. Every single day I wake up and expect greatness to happen. And this is both in my life and then me being able to be a blessing to others. I just expect nothing but greatness every single day. And because I have set that expectation, that means I have to show up for myself to make sure that as I'm expecting greatness, that I am going to be great as well. It's all about having that positive attitude. So before I go, I just want to share with you this last thing. Everything that we do, everything that we want, and everything that we have, it all took action or takes action. The key word is action. And again, let's refer back to Webster Dictionary, because in Webster Dictionary, action is the fact or process of doing something, typically to achieve an aim or a thing done, an act. Now, if you were to take a look at that person that most inspires you, if you were to take a look at that person and what they did to achieve the results, it required action. Any successful person that I know believes in having a great morning routine. And it doesn't mean getting up at 3 a.m. It just means being intentional about your morning and your day to win your day. You want to level up. You want to boss up. You want to become successful, to be, do, and have what you want in your life. It starts with being intentional. Being intentional about how you're spending your days. Now, I mentioned a quote early on by John C. Maxwell, and I'm going to mention it again because it was just so good. So the quote simply said, "The mornings are the best way to find time to start working on you. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret to your success is found in your daily routine." And I would dare tell you that it all starts with your morning routine. Now, I have shared my morning routine on the show before, and I have actually shared a snapshot of my morning routine on my Instagram page as well. If you are interested in learning how you can develop your own morning routine, or just even developing your own daily routine to be more intentional, please reach out to me. Let's connect. Connect either on social media, so Facebook, Instagram. Find me on there. Send me a message. Or you can send me an email as well at Jaresha at empoweronpurpose.com. I really believe that you have the power to be great, do great, and have great. And in order for you to do that, you have to be intentional about your day. And I want to help you be intentional about your day. So, as always, I thank you all so much for tuning in to Empower Hour with Jaresha. If you are interested in starting your own show or being a guest on the show to share your amazing story and journey to equip, encourage, and empower others for growth and success, please visit www.envisionedbroadcasting.com to learn more. Please tune in next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on EB Radio or Envisioned Broadcasting Radio. And if you haven't yet downloaded the app, you can actually download the EB Radio app in the Google Store, the Google Play Store, as well as the Apple Store, and on Alexa as well. But tune in next Wednesday at 8 p.m. where you will hear an amazing story and journey from another leader, influencer, and motivator. Until next time, stay safe and be blessed.
Thank you for listening to the Empower Hour with Jaresha, where Jaresha speaks with leaders, influencers, and motivators who share their journey in personal and professional growth, empowerment tips, lessons learned, and keys of success that will empower you to your best self. Follow Jaresha on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Jaresha Moore, and visit www.jaresha.com www.empoweronpurpose.com. Remember to be intentional and be empowered, and have a great day on purpose.